if life begins at conception, then life begins at conception, whether that's in a test tube or in the womb or by some other form.
Do you have a reaction to the Alabama Supreme Court ruling on the fact that embryos are children?
Yeah, I was all for it. We need to have more kids. We need to have an opportunity to do that. And I thought this was the right thing to do. But
personally, I think it was a terrible rule.
Yeah. I'll just say I'm generally in favor of IVF. I can't speak to that particular case, but I'm generally in favor of that.
Yeah. I have not had a chance to look at the Alabama legal rulings. I mean, I wouldn't even want to try to pretend to understand what the issue is there.
Are you comfortable with IVF as a procedure?
I am, yeah.
Do you believe that destroying embryos is a crime?
No, I mean, listen, the IDF and those kind of infertilization, that's not Oklahoma.
You know, you have a lot of people out there in this country that they wouldn't have children if it wasn't for that.
I let that play through for a reason. I let that play through because I wanted you to see governors and senators and congressmen, Republicans, that agree that IVF should be protected. So in the Congress, Senator Tammy Duckworth wanted to get some legislation passed. So she introduced a bill that will protect IVF across the country.
The very people who claim to be defending family values are the ones trying to enact dystopian policies that would prevent Americans from starting their own families. IVF providers around the state have already paused treatments out of fear that their doctors and patients could be punished. That's why today I'm begging my colleagues to help me pass my Access to Family Building Act, a bill that would ensure that every American's right to become a parent via treatments like IVF is fully protected, regardless of what state they live in, helping guarantee that no hopeful parent or doctor in this country can be held criminally liable for starting or growing a family through IVF.
There's a lot of ambiguity in what the Supreme Court of Alabama did. So I think what Senator Tammy Duckworth is doing is just trying to clarify IVF protections, because if someone is transporting embryos and they get into an accident or in that transportation, the embryos don't survive, that driver can be charged with murder. That company can be charged with murder. If, for whatever reason, the doctors have to discard embryos because the family doesn't want the embryo because of whatever medical reasons that they find in the embryo, that doctor that's in that clinic can be charged with murder. So I think what Senator Tammy Duckworth is doing is just trying to clarify that IVF is protected against those type of instances. Doesn't matter, because Senator Cindy Hyde Smith of Mississippi don't want IVF to be protected.
Is there objection?
Reserving the right to object.
The senator from Mississippi.
Let's be clear about what the Alabama case is about. It did not ban IVF, nor has any state banned IVF.
Even though the Supreme Court said that if an embryo dies, it's murder, and for that reason, IVF clinics have stopped doing IVF treatments, you are still willing to block legislation that would protect those clinics to get them back in business, to help women and families make the babies that Republicans have been saying that Democrats don't want to make. She goes on to argue that Senator Duckworth's bill would force women to have children.
The act explicitly waives the Religious Freedom Restoration Act and would subject religious and pro-life organizations to crippling lawsuits. Religious and pro-life organizations could be forced to facilitate procedures that violate their core beliefs, including their health insurance plans.
Isn't that what they did when they got rid of Roe v. Wade? Republicans have said that even if a woman is SA'd by a family member or a stranger, that baby should still be born. Now you're saying that a bill that Democrats are introducing would force facilities to make babies. Then, in true Mississippi form, she goes into conspiracy theories.
It would legalize human cloning. It would legalize gene-edited designer babies.
Do you know why Shaq is 7 foot 300? Do you know why LeBron is 6 foot 500? Do you know why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is 12 foot 380? The reason why these men are so tall is because of genetics. And throughout slavery, they bred men and women who were strong and tall and fast. That's why Serena Williams can hit a ball across the country. Because American slave owners did what she just said.
And lift the federal ban on the creation of 3-parent embryos. It would legalize the creation of human-animal chimeras.
First of all, I can't believe there are people out there that want to combine 3 DNAs to make one baby. Do you know how hard it is for 2 people to parent? Imagine having 3. And also, having a human-animal hybrid baby? What are y'all doing in Mississippi?
It would legalize commercial surrogacy, including for young girls without parental involvement.
Okay, so now you're being hypocritical. First, you got rid of Roe v. Wade so women didn't have a right to choose and you forced women to have babies. Now you're saying that they can't commercialize baby making so where people that can't have babies can come to you and make babies. Then you say you're okay with a woman being SA'd by a family member or a stranger to still have the baby. And then you say that that same 16 or 12-year-old that was SA'd and was forced to have a baby cannot now go and make a baby on her own at an IVF plant. So, like all Democrats have to do, Tammy D, go back on the floor to clean this crap up.
It protects the right of individuals to seek assistive reproductive technology without fear of being prosecuted for seeking that technology. It preserves the right of physicians to provide that assistive reproductive technology without fear of being prosecuted. And it also allows insurance companies to cover assistive reproductive technology. That is all that it does. It does not force anyone to seek reproductive technology. It does not force anyone to offer it. It does not force anyone to cover it. It simply says you have a statutory right, should you choose to pursue assistive reproductive technology, that you will be able to do so.
Republicans, especially the ones in Mississippi, I don't know what the hell y'all doing over there. Y'all have lost your minds. What do you think?